So here we are today, we're looking at the Ozone Forza 2 harness, and we're going to have a look at the instrument panel or flight deck or cockpit, whatever you like to call it, and show you some of the features of this. This harness retails in the UK at £2,400. So it's a premium harness. It's a very expensive harness, so I expect quite a lot from this cockpit. So let's dive in. So the first bit is you've got from your chest strap here, underneath here, look, it connects from there. You've got a strap that goes down and it's a quick release onto the base of the instrument panel. So this is really strong and really rigid, really solid. So it's a really good solid instrument panel. So it's nothing is going to flop around and bash around. It's really quite secure. So next to that we've got these two little clips here. Now these clips are the quick release clips for your instruments. So you've only got two of these, and these are the little tethers that you're given with the harness for holding your instruments on. Now I think they are like this so it's easiest to remove your instruments, because this instrument panel isn't removable like other harnesses, and there isn't a detachable panel for this. So for me this is a bit of a disappointment, because a harness of this cost, any other harnesses out there, a lot of them are cheaper and they come with a removable panel. So this hasn't actually got one, so you're either going to have to make your own or buy a generic one that you can put onto here. But at an extra cost, it's not very good, because you know it's already costing you a lot of money for this harness. So I'd have expected to have that already. Anyway, moving on, you've now got a little slot here, and this slot here is for your power cables to come through, so you can charge your instruments and things. So that's quite good. And then this is the usable part of your instrument panel. So that's how big it is, about the size of my hand, and it's a thin band of Velcro. And then you've got a strap up here. It's a very small strap, it's not really big enough. It's a detail that shouldn't have been missed and made so small. You'll see in a minute why I say it's too small, but we'll get to that in a minute. So it only comes to here, so this bit here is redundant, obviously, because it's got this big clip for reminding you to put your leg straps, chest strap. I personally made it a lot neater and it gone around the side without all this big horrible lump, and then you could have used and utilised this part of the cockpit and made it a bit more squarer, and then you could have used that, and then also this redundant part here you could have done the same here, and you could probably have got another instrument or at least a radio on there or whatever you'd like to use. So that is a bit of a disappointment as well. So moving on, so it's got a nice skirt across the top, a wind skirt sort of thing, deflector sort of thing, so that's a really nice feature. And then we'll open it up. So we open it up, it opens nice and wide so you can see exactly what you're looking for. So you've got a tether point in there, nice big loop. I'd have liked to have seen something that long on the top here so you can open it, but they didn't. And then you've got the dividing panel here, which is for if you have an anti-G, it comes in from the side here. So you unzip here, your anti-G goes in there, runs up here through this little strap to your carabiner. Now if you put the anti-G in, you will not be able to utilise any part of this because it fills the entire cockpit. So the entire cockpit, when this has an anti-G in, is full. I put the Ozone anti-G in here and it fills it, so be aware of that. And then in here you open this up, this is where your power banks go, or your power bank, and then you've got the hole for the cable that I showed you, the slot on the front. So a really small hole, so you can only, I can't even get my little finger through. So if you've got chunky plugs, so the USB-C, if you've got a chunky one, I don't think the chunkier ones go through, but the thin ones that you get with your phones will go through. But bear in mind, once you've got one through, your cable's going to be in that hole, and that'll take some room up, so you might not get a second through. It all depends on how big your cables are and your plugs. This is made out of quite thick hard plastic, so there's no way of opening it out or anything, so you need to be aware of that. The cockpit opens and closes using 4 strong magnets. Now they are all magnets. It's not 2 magnets and then 2 metal plates. They are 4 magnets. I've tested it out, so these are actually 4 magnets. So they do, and they are very strong, and it secures it really nice. And like, the idea is a really nice idea, because then it's like really easy access. But on further thoughts, the idea isn't so good, because if you fly with a compass, for instance, it's not going to work. We know compasses and magnets don't mix, so that won't work. So, and if you've got a Flymaster, like the Flymaster GPS M, the new model with the FLARM, the Flymaster Nav SD, that wasn't is affected by the magnets. Also my Compatino is, and also a Garmin. That's all I know of at the moment, but they definitely do get affected by the magnets, so you need to be aware of that. I did a video on the compass rose on the Flymaster, and that's on my video channel too, and that shows you it just spinning round, so you need to be aware of that. So if you've got a Flymaster, you know, that's something you've got to take into account. So I put me compass there. I always fly with a compass, but obviously with this harness it won't be possible. This is just to show you what fits on here, so, and how big it is. So I can put my XC tracer there, so that fits nicely there. So looking so good, so far so good. I'll put this up next, which is my Flymaster Nav SD, and now you'll see this, the little strap isn't long enough, doesn't even reach round the side of the Flymaster, so it's a little detail, but it shouldn't have really been missed, so it's a bit of a disappointment. Okay, you can put a bit of line on there, but at £2,400 I think they should have been able to make a strap that you could use. And then the final instrument I fly with is my Compatino. So I'll put my Compatino on there, and as you can see we're right up to the top of the skirt, because this sticks up past. And the first thing you'll notice is I can't get to my buttons. I can't get down there to the buttons. So, you know, this all needs to be up here, but it's down and it's quite close. So, you know, there's my fingers width, and I'm touching both. So that's a bit of disappointment. This one in the middle isn't too bad, but you still struggle. If I put that one there and then this one here, you'd struggle with that one there. So it's not ideal. I mean, you could pull it up, I suppose, but you don't really want to be doing that. And with gloves and flying, you don't really want to be letting go, and you know, isn't very well thought out. So the only thing I can assume is when they made the cockpit, and they tried it without the instruments on. I don't think they actually put some instruments on to try to see if it did actually work okay, because the next bit I'm going to show you would suggest that, because now I can't, and listen, you can hear it hitting on these metal buckles. I mean, this is a Compatino with a screen protector on, which is okay, this is quite robust, and this is a plastic screen as well before you get to my LCD screen. But what's your Air 3 or your UDI going to be like if you start banging it in there? And now I no longer can see what I want to get to inside the cockpit. So yeah, this is where I have my head, and this is where I'll be looking forward if I'm flying, and this is where I look down. And you know, the angle's perfect. I can see my instruments perfectly. The angle's absolutely spot on. So you know, that's great. But it won't open. So, and the harness at this in this price bracket, I mean, this isn't very good at all. I mean, I don't know what to say. I really don't. So, you know, if you're thinking of buying this harness, you need to take that into account as well. So I hope this helps people understand the features on the Forza 2 made by Ozone, but be aware of these issues